It's coming. It's there. We are live. Hey,
we're a little late this morning. Sorry.
You know what, though? This has been like 1 year of every Monday doing 10 at 10s.
Has it been a whole year?
Probably. I don't know exactly when we started 10 at 10s.
Welcome to our backyard again.
Yes. The time changed. The sun is a little different, so it lets us come out.
It's getting warmer. Oh, the last couple of days have been so nice. And, can you see it? The wisteria.
I don't know if you can see it.
Okay, all that stuff on that top part is wisteria, and it's amazing, and it smells so good.
It's cool when it's in bloom. It's very nice.
It's great.
And right before we came on, we had a hawk in our backyard.
Yes.
It was a
little scary.
What's it called? Something sharp-shinned hawk is what we think it is.
That sounds very strange.
It is. It has very sharp
I heated up my coffee in
shins.
the microwave, and the handle got super hot, so.
Can you handle it?
I think I can handle it. Oh, my gosh.
Dad jokes. Sorry. Hey, good morning, Jose. Thanks for signing on there. And good morning, those of you that, Scott's on this morning. Good morning. I guess it's probably afternoon in Texas, but
I feel like you keep leaning into me, and then I'm like,
it's affection. That's all.
Well, I have the coffee on the side.
Keep it over there.
I'm like, all right. Beware, because it's hot this morning.
So anyway, great weekend.
It was a really good weekend. I got to spend time with a friend.
And if you're a basketball fan, there was some amazing basketball this weekend. Although if you're a Tennessee fan, it was a very sad basketball weekend.
Sad, apparently.
But I want to jump right into this because this Sunday at church, we looked at Psalm 27.
It was really good.
And for Psalm 27, it was this whole idea of having confidence even when times you're fearful. That whom shall I fear? But instead I will be confident in the Lord. And but that seemed to flow out of spending time in God's presence.
Doesn't it say, where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord. Oh, that's a different place.
That's Psalm 121.
I like to mix up things. It's all God's word, so it's good.
The greatest hits of the Psalms with Jill Brown. That's good. No, this is the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my stronghold. Of whom shall I be afraid? I'm sorry. The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? But anyway, the idea was, David in this position said, there's one thing I ask of the Lord. And if I was surrounded by armies and abandoned by everyone, including my parents, and, if all this was happening to me, I'm not sure what that one thing I would ask of the Lord would be.
Yeah, mine would probably be like to be in the presence of like my family and friends and loved ones. But
he said, there's one thing I seek, and that's to dwell in the house of the Lord and to gaze upon your beauty and to inquire of the Lord, to seek his face. So I thought we could take some time, and this would be a great time for those of you that are on live to add to the comments too about things we can do to where we just feel like we experience the presence of God. If we're going to seek the presence of God, what are some things that we do? And I'll start with, the basic ones that are still great is just spending time in God's word, opening the Bible, spending time in God's word, and just seeking his presence as he has revealed himself through his word. I think
sometimes what I do is, were you done? Sorry. I sit outside in my little chair that you can see back there. It's that one right there, the hanging one. I sit there and, God's word isn't magic. So God's word helps us to get to know God. But it's not like you read a verse and it magically makes your day better. But as you read things, you get to know God better, and you know truths about God, like his presence is with you and that he will never leave us. And I sit out here and watch the birds. I ran out of bird seeds, so I have to get more. But usually there's a ton of birds out here. And
that's the hawk looking for the birds.
Yeah. You got the memo. But just as I sit out and watch the birds, I'm amazed that God cares for these little birds, but he cares for me even more. He feeds the birds. That passage is one of my favorites. I know I've talked about it before, but, and I look at all the plants in our backyard and, the flowers. We've got some beautiful flowers blooming right now. But God, he arranged those flowers. He created them. He made them beautiful. But how much more is he going to care for us and take care of us and take care of those needs? And so anyway.
Exactly. And, speaking of flowers and the backyard, one of the things that I plan to do today that actually you can really seek the presence of God as you do this is by doing work. I'm looking at right over there, these huge overgrown things that are,
they need maintenance.
They're going to be chopped down today. It's going to be a lot of work.
I think I'll supervise because it's going to be scary. Mark's not, he doesn't have that finesse. He's just kind of like, wop, wop.
These do
wop.
not need finesse. They need wop, wop, wop. Anyway,
Yeah.
but sometimes by just getting out and doing work, I mean, we were created to do work.
Mhm.
And sometimes, when you're just out, you can really experience the presence of God. And I wanted to say that because,
Like, why do you say that? Like, how?
well, I wanted to say that because sometimes when we think experience the presence of God, we think let's go disappear on a trail or let's go have,
Sit
a
and
whole
watch the
day of
birds.
silence. But sometimes just getting your hands dirty or maybe not even the manual labor, sometimes just doing the work that God has called
Yeah.
you to do. I mean, in a perfect scenario, you see your job, your vocation as a way that, something that God has empowered you to do.
Mm.
It's some even talk about calling. I love this definition. It's a kind of life imposed on us by God to serve the common good. And we don't
Wait, say
often,
that again.
it's
Sorry, that was profound.
a
but it's not
calling
true.
is and this is like from a Puritan, I think, Richard Baxter. I'm kind of pulling this out of the dark recesses here, but he says, and I added a little bit to it, but a calling is a kind of life imposed on us by God to serve the common good. And I add into that to make much of Christ.
So if we see it as imposed on us by God,
Isn't that
not
crazy?
as imposed on us by the state of California or the fact that I need money and I can't survive without.
Well, but it's interesting that it's an imposition because we were
Oh, I get it.
we were gifted and skilled to do something by the Lord. And this is our means of making much of Christ and serving the common good. And so if you come into your job saying, this is what God has called me to do, this is what I'm built to do, and I do this so I can serve the common good, and this is the place where I can make much of Christ, then suddenly, if you're working in the yard or if you are
doing laundry
or
scrubbing a toilet,
or if
cleaning
you're
a dirty diaper. Sorry.
well, but I'm wanting to get into vocations as well.
Yes.
I mean,
no, I
if
know,
you're-
but
if
some
you're-
people, even if you don't go to a job, you're still, the work that you do is your calling from God, and it's imposed on you by God.
and that's really,
Sorry, you can
there's
get vacations now.
well, there's a great little book called The Practice of the Presence of God, and there's this is a monk who was a dishwasher in a
It was really
monastery,
good. I read
but he really embraced experiencing the presence of God in the menial tasks of doing the dishes in the monastery. Just always be mindful of the presence of God. And I think that's because for me, when I started, thinking through this 10 at 10, and I was like, okay, what do I do to experience the presence? Well, I love these trails, and I love getting off on the trails and just going for a walk with someone or just me and the Lord. And I love
usually at the beach.
But and that's what you do. You like to go to the
I like to
beach
go to the
and you
beach.
experience the presence of the Lord there. But it doesn't have to be, because a whole lot of people get up and go to work every morning, and you can't just I can't
You can't say
wait.
I can't experience the presence of God because I don't have this time.
Yeah,
Because
and you can't
can
just
experience
wait.
it anywhere.
Yeah. And you can't say, well, maybe 2 weeks from next Saturday, I will go spend time with, I will experience the presence of God. No,
Daily.
right.
Yeah.
But
in those little things, sometimes it's in the little things that God speaks to you, those mundane things that are like, really?
And I wonder if sometimes it's even the, we have never seen the movie Chariots of Fire, but I know the great quote. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
But that great quote
Everyone's seen it.
that when I run, I feel God's pleasure.
Ooh.
And there is something about, when you're in that sweet spot of doing what God has called, just those moments in the day where you feel God's pleasure. I mean, that's just a time I think we can experience the presence of. But the point of the sermon,
So
and the point of the
your point
psalm is, it's when we are able to draw away and spend time in the presence of God. That's when we have this courage and confidence. This courage and confidence of yet I will be confident. I love how it ends. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord.
So in the darkest times, like when you're in this dark place, when you're sad and struggling, you can have confidence that even though it's not going to get better instantly, right?
Right.
But that confidence what's the confidence?
Well, the confidence is in the Lord.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
But we gain this confidence by spending time in His presence.
With God. Yeah.
I mean, it's not just a matter of saying, okay, I'm going to be confident in the Lord.
And it's not like, I'm in a dark place, so I need to spend time with God so it'll get better. But
right. It's more so my perspective will
you,
change. Yeah. And I forgot an important way to spend time with the Lord I think for both of us, and that's through music.
Ooh,
I know that
like
I
music.
just love to either listen to a great worship song or
Yep.
bang out a worship song on the piano and sing along.
Yeah.
Or even some of the old hymns. But there's something about music that kind of can bring us into the presence of God as well. So anyway, that'd be an encouragement for not just today, but for this week, is to really seek the presence of God. What
Seek
do
the
we
presence
most
of God.
desire? The presence of God. Where
Yeah.
do we go for help?
And
Well,
coffee.
we seek the face of God and a cup of coffee. So
Well, God's better than coffee, but God gave us coffee, so I am going to enjoy God's gift of coffee.
awesome. And I'm going to
Speaking of
enjoy.
coffee, this isn't really anything. No, it's a bunny. Isn't it cute?
What does that have to do with coffee?
Well, it's Easter. I'm transitioning. Segue. Bunny. Cute little plant. Spring.
So that would be an
But,
example
sorry.
if you wanted. I'm not sure where you got that, although I have a feeling it was Trader
It
Joe's,
was
but I'm
Trader
not sure.
Joe's.
But as we're talking
I
about,
love plants.
but as we talk about blessing our neighbors, that could be a little thing. You could
Ooh,
get
go to
a
Trader. I
little
don't know if they have
planter
those
and-
anymore, but yeah,
anyway.
go to Trader Joe's, get a little cute little plant, and bring it to your neighbor with the
With the little gift
We
bags.
should have one of those. You didn't bring one home, did
I
you?
know, I didn't. We're gonna hand ours out next week, so I was saving them at church to see who else would get them. But yeah, if you want, think of 5 friends, 5 neighbors, bake some cookies or get some gift cards or little plants from Trader Joe's.
Yep.
Just a little something to go and just be a blessing.
Hot cross
And
buns.
the card will let
I'm
them
still gonna
know.
make those.
Are you going to?
I am.
All right.
Keep reminding me because I keep forgetting.
But
I need to
the
look up a recipe.
the card that's in there will let them
Hi,
know
Aunt
about our
Opal.
services. Oh, that's fun. Hello, Aunt Opal.
Yay.
What else is coming on? Oh, the VI Pizza Palooza. That's going to be amazing. That's the day
Yes.
before Easter.
We're gonna bring our
that's coming up.
trombone. He's gonna bring his trombone. I heard that he mentioned that. So
I did. I don't know where. Sometimes I just start talking and I don't know what's
Yeah.
going to come out. I
So,
get that from you.
what is the VIP Palooza?
It's
In case no one knows.
in case no one knows, Buddy Break is our ministry where we provide respite care for about 30 families that are affected by disabilities, kids with disabilities.
Yeah, and their
And-
siblings and the whole family.
So we do a 3-hour respite care, but we haven't been able to do that in a year. So
Yeah.
we're doing a big pizza event.
Been
So
missed.
it's going to be a drive-through. Everything's safe. We're going to have their names on the outside of the cars. So we need people lining the church parking lot
So
to
we can
yell
know their name. We
names.
can, hey,
You
how
can
you doing?
play your
Woo!
trombone if you want. You
Yeah.
can do all of these things. And then at the end of it, we're going to give them things as they go. And when they get to the end of it, they're going to have a pizza dinner to take home. Here's
So it's just going to be a fun experience for
And-
them.
and
Get out
here's-
of the house, see everybody, and be like,
not have to cook supper.
"Yay!"
Everybody likes pizza.
Yeah.
But here's what we need, though. We need a lot of people there in the parking lot.
Yes. So show up.
Well, and before you show up, go to the Bridge website
Oh,
and
yes.
hit that link and reserve your spot. It'd be so helpful to know how many people are going to
Yeah,
be there.
because then they know where to start the line. Because if
Yep.
we only have like 10 people, then that was
And we're just getting there like a half hour before the event. So that would be a mad scramble if we don't know how many people are
Right.
coming. So if you can help us with that.
So
There-
go to the website. Which
There's also
is
things
Bridge Church.
bridgechurch.us. There's also, how you can pray, things you can still donate. I think
Target
they
gift
still need
cards?
some $10 Target gift cards. We're going to go get ours this week.
Yep.
As well. So those
yeah,
are some great
that's
things
gonna be
coming up.
fun.
And hey, don't forget, we're still doing Bridge Cares.
Bridge Cares.
We went to Vegan Time.
Ooh, it was so good.
Was that Saturday night?
That
We
was
just
Saturday
recently went. So
Tom Kha, one of those, the coconut soup stuff, so good. It's
It is.
different because it's vegan, but it's really, really good. So flavorful.
it is so good. Anyway, we've got the 4 places. One of them being Vegan Time,
They're good.
Ragamuffin Coffee.
Coffee.
Always good. Stella's, which I'm just dying to go to.
Stella!
I keep hearing more stories about Stella's and I
Yeah.
haven't gone yet.
Hey, we can go this week.
And then the Alamo. Remember
Remember the Alamo.
the Alamo. Oh, that was bad. Had
That
to
was
do it though. Hey, Mark Ragsdale from Southeastern Virginia.
Woo!
Woo! The 10 at 10 is going coast to coast here, Mark. It's good to see you. Mark came
Well,
to
and
the
my aunt is in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Okay.
Oh. Okay, this is sad. We are over 10 minutes.
Okay, we
and
should stop. But
it's going down.
I started to say Mark Ragsdale. We met him when he was a teenager coming to our camp, the Masters Inn, back in Virginia, way back in the early
Way
90s, I
back.
think. So
Probably before
anyway,
you're-
hey, we will sign off. Remember,
Yes.
this is a great day and a great week to seek the Lord's presence.
be with God.
And one of the best things we can do is when we are afraid, take that fear to the Lord and then walk in confidence.
Yeah,
when
spending
we-
time
when we
with
see
God
who
will
he
give
is.
you confidence.
All right. Hey, have a
That's
great
awesome.
week, everybody.
Yay.
A lot of yard work ahead of us here, but it's going to get done
It'll be fun.
as an act of worship.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. We'll